Then, of course, we have Donny from ConsoleVariations.com. Console Variations is a site that is literally exactly what the site says it is. It is damn near every console variation and growing, from special editions to this, to that, to colors, to just look at what's behind him. My God, this guy has a collection to end all collections, period, the end. And we also have SCF3. I always feel like I'm going to say that wrong when I say it because it's just letters and numbers, you know? But
Yeah, it's a weird name.
but I'm going to get into, once we get into your segment, what that means, because I actually don't know, but I'm sure it means something. And
Yes.
she is, obviously, you can tell from her shirt, she's a Twitch streamer. She is a YouTuber. She's killing it on Twitch. And
Thank you.
that's why I fear even doing any streaming on Twitch whatsoever, because I see these people that are already established, and I'm like, there's no way I could even, like, it's beyond me. It's beyond me. But without further ado, we're talking about ConsoleVariations.com to start off with, and we're also Donny has a real treat for us. He has a Golden Royal Wii that he's going to explain what that is, and it is probably going to be the rarest system you guys have ever seen in your lives, but it's going to be fantastic. So before we talk about the history of the site, I just want to say that he had contacted me about showcasing the Royal Wii, the Golden Wii, on H4Games, and we were seriously considering it, but shipping from the US to Europe, especially with any sort of reasonable service that allows for tracking, is insanely expensive. It would have been about $250 to ship it back, and about like $40 to ship it here, which just shows you how much better it is with like the European postal services. And with the US, it's like they destroy you. So we were like, I don't know if it's going to be, I really want to look at this, but I don't want to send it back without shipping information. It's a total shot in the dark. It's a really rare item. Why don't we just have him on the podcast? And then he's like, yeah. And then I'm like, oh, it's at midnight your time. And he's like, oh, okay. And so he's being a good sport and he's joining us. But first off, before we even get to that Royal Wii, tell us about your site. Tell us about what it is, the history, the vision, the mission. Like, give us the full rundown.
Yeah, okay. Well, hi, I'm Donny from ConsoleVariations. It all started on a forum called N64 Forever, where all the N64 fans were on there and posting happy posts about all the systems and games and etc. Until I created a post, and the title was something about all the Nintendo 64 variations in the world. And the first post was from a guy named Darklink, and I come back to him in a bit. He told me, like, what do you consider as a variation? Could it be the color of the box? Could it be a language different? Could it be the games that's displayed on the back of the box? So we decided, yeah, screw it, everything. So it got rather popular, to be honest. So it got 3,000 views in a few months. And Darklink and I started talking about, hey, you know what? Why not do this with every other console? So then we founded Console Variations. So all the N64s were on there with amazing pictures, because the guy, Darklink, is actually, his real name is Fred, made very professional pictures about his systems. So when we launched the site with N64 only, it got like 1,000 views a day, which we thought, like, whoa, this is unexpected. So we added more Nintendo stuff. So GameCube, NES, Wii, and all the limited edition handhelds and Game Boys, etc. Then Fred went on a world trip. He left everything behind. He wanted to free his mind and went 1.5 years on a world trip. And I respected him, and it was amazing. So I say, you do this, I'll finish the site up. So then I finished Sega, and then I finished Sony, and then I finished Xbox, and then everything else. And then, well, Console Variations was more popular than other sites that had consoles on them. So that's how we founded it. And every day, strangely enough, every day we get new content. We get emails from people like, hey, I have this console, you don't have it on the site. Or, hey, you can win this console over there on the social media page. So now we have 8,000 consoles and controllers on the website. So Fred came back from his world trip 1.5 years later, he saw the statistics and the views on the site, and it was so great that we're actually going to make a second version. The second version will be professionally made.
Okay.
The first version was actually all hand typed. Nothing was automatically or sorted. It was everything by hand, which I hated. I love doing it, but I hated it.
Yeah.
So the second side, we will have a party called Yuka. He's there creating the new website for us. It will have different filters. It will have a search function finally, so people can search up their favorite stuff like Pokemon or Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
So if you want to know every Pokemon system, you just type in Pokemon and boom, you got it.
Awesome.
So also the next site will have, because it was a whole lot of time to create the current website, we will include accessories, dev kits, prototypes, box variations, and even thinking of including all the games at launch when the site launches. So yeah, that's going to be epic. Also, people first emailed us, and then we added the content on the site. It takes around 5 minutes for each console. So now people are also able to upload their own content. So if you have a system like, hey, you don't have it, boom, you upload it, and we say, awesome, done. It's on the site.
Okay.
You can also add your own homemade pictures. You can get even achievements, and you can level up with the more pictures you upload on the site.
That's awesome.
And we have something very unique, and it's kind of a business secret, but we have something called a rarity score. With a lot of algorithms and a lot of calculations, we know exactly how rare something is.
Okay. Wow. That's pretty cool. I was just going to backtrack real quick about what you said. And first off, the most shocking thing was that Fred's real name isn't Dark Link.
Yeah.
You know, I can't believe that his parents opted to not name him Dark Link. So that's shocking, first off. But
yeah, Dark Link was his form name, Fred is his real name. And actually, we talk like every day after we launched the site.
That's awesome.
So he's not only my friend, he's also my business partner in this case.
Well, that's great. That's great. And for anybody that hasn't visited the site, there's actually a link in the description. And it is just, I mean, it's everything that you would imagine it would be. Like, it's a plethora of just different consoles and this and that. And I can't tell you how many times I've gone to this site or been like, hey, Donny, like, I have this. If you guys remember, recently did a European automobile color console variation for the PlayStation 2. And we covered this rare blue PlayStation 2. And there was like a decent amount of info. And I'm like, hey, Donny, I'm looking at this. Do you got anything else? And like, he's like, give me a day. And the next day he had like 4 paragraphs of like very detailed information for me. And it was just like, oh my God, this guy, like, he knows everything there is to know, or at least can find it at the very least. So, he has been sort of working a little bit in the background of H4Games for a little while now, helping me out just whenever possible or whenever needed. And so anyone that's supporting H4Games, I would love for you all to support ConsoleVariations.com. And, even while we're doing the stream, click the link, peruse about, and, you'll be shocked at some of the stuff that was released, honestly. So that's my pitch for ConsoleVariations. But yeah, so it sounds like it is doing very well, but also continuing to grow. And there's a lot of plans for continued growth. Is that basically what I'm hearing? Excellent.
Yeah.
So do you want to jump into the big gun, the Royal Wii?
Yes, sure.
So just take it away. Tell us what this is, like the history behind it, the craziness. Now, some of you may remember this from like press releases from years and years and years ago. Some of you may not. But go for it. I'm going to shut up now, and you can start talking.
Okay, so in 2006, the company THQ created a golden-plated Wii as a marketing stunt for the game Big Family Games. Big Family Games did this amazing A-rank game that they created. So the marketing stunt was to create a 24-karat gold-plated Wii and send it to the Queen of England with the game to let the royal family play on it. So that went into the press, and the press went crazy, and it worked. So they sent out the Wii. The thing was, it had to be signed for, and also because of some ruling about marketing, it wasn't accepted.
Oh, okay.
And what happened? Without the press knowing, it got sent back to a THQ. So years and years passed. THQ unfortunately went down, and the stuff went to anyone of the THQ employees. Mm-hmm. So there was a high-end collector. I didn't know his name. Sorry for that, but you do get credit for it. Bought a lot of development stuff, consoles, and everything from THQ, but also the Golden Wii. And he showed it off on the forum, and then I engaged him, and he was willing to sell it to me. So I own it now. So there's one made. It was actually displayed on a pillow for the press. Mm. A funny detail is that a Wii doesn't go well on the pillow; it will fall over. So they glued it on, and there's still some glue parts and fabric of the pillow on the Wii.
Yeah, wasn't it? You showed me that. Wasn't it like almost like a velvet material, like the pillow, like like very, like obviously very upscale, like or what one would perceive as upscale.
Fancy.
Yeah, exactly. So it was never actually touched or seen by the Queen. They just like immediately rejected it, but it was still like the Royal Wii, or was there any more information on that, or is that pretty much it?
Actually, that's pretty much it. The reason is the media got attracted so much because it's a cool story, and they did it. And yeah, I actually have it right next to me. What a coincidence! So this is it. It's gold. Mm-hmm. It's plated. Oh, now full of fingerprints.
Yeah.
Everything has been done. Even the inside of the flaps are done. And on this side, hopefully you can still see, is the red part of the fabric that was left.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, officially there was also a remote and a nunchuck.
Uh-huh.
But the nunchuck got lost. Mm-hmm. And they said shipping, but I'm not sure. I still have the remote.
Uh-huh.
It's feels like a normal remote, only with more fingerprints in this case. So I weighted the Wii compared to a normal one. It's actually 20 grams of difference. It could be a hardware thing. It could be something else.
Yeah.
But that's that's basically the whole story about it.
Yeah. Now, when we were originally thinking about covering it, I think you mentioned that you either had it like appraised or you had some like jeweler take a look at it or something like that. Did someone do that? Or
the previous owner did that, and he couldn't test it perfectly, and the reason was that it was plated on plastic, and when they had to test it, they have to take some gold out of it, and that's with heat, so the plastic will melt.
Oh, okay.
And that will destroy the thing, which will be unfortunate.
So you're kind of like between a rock and a hard place. You're like, okay, like, you know, THQ told us or told the press it's real gold, but you don't really know the carat. You don't, because that's weird. Like I haven't really, I'm sure it exists, but like gold on plastic isn't often something you hear about.
I do have the papers and certificate of the THQ owner that had it.
Okay.
And he said it was the one that got sent, and it was the one that really gold plated.
Yeah. Well, what I mean is, like as far as what THQ did in terms of like the quality of the gold, you know what I mean? Like it's still it's like we'll never know really, like because
there's one way to know,
but you have to destroy it, or at least you have to destroy like a part of it, you know, which kind of stinks. So, question for you: have you ever seen images of the nunchuck? Does it have like gold plating on the cord as well?
No, it doesn't have gold plating on the cord. The only image I've seen of the nunchuck is the press picture, which is on the pillow.
Okay, gotcha. So, that's so funny, because they like the press picture on the pillow, but really it was probably like given like in like a box to like to the queen or whatever, and they were just like, I don't know why.
I actually have no idea how they shipped it. To be honest, I never asked. It could be a regular Wii box. It could be delivered, I don't know, with a acrylic casing or a pillow. Who knows?
Well, you would think that if they were gonna do like a big to do about it, they would have like attempted to schedule a time to like maybe have, I guess, maybe one of the how do you say it? Like one of the lesser members of the royal family, like meet them, like, and then like sign for it and then take it in. And like that could have been like, yeah, it was delivered and it was, the royal family got it, even if it was just immediately put in like a closet or something like that. But it is such like an odd thing because I mean I worked as a publicity stunt, but when you think about it, it's like it's kind of like trying to think of the best example. It's kind of like it would be like me buying a video game for my mom. Like she wouldn't care. You know what I mean?
As long as it's gold.
Yeah, well, if it was gold, she might. But it's like one of those things where it's like I'm gonna do this for you, but it's really for me. It's really, you know what I mean? Like it's just.
I come to buy my mom like Diablo 3, but actually it's mine.
It's mine. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Because THQ is like, I'm going to do something. We're going to do a gold-plated Wii. And then really it's just so they can sell more like shovelware.
Promote us.
Yeah. It's pretty just all just promotion and marketing and such. Yeah. And it's like just so very strange. But yeah, so I guess before we stop talking about the Royal Wii, can you bring it up to the camera one more time and give it one more twirl?
Sure. Yeah, sure. Yeah, there you go. Ta-da!
That's awesome.
Very reflective.
Yeah.
Hey, there's me.
Hello. The back. The front. Actually, turn it on just to play with. Yeah. Just for fun. And the host name of this is actually THQ, which is a funny little detail.
I'm sorry, say that again. The username is?
The username of this console, which THQ? Program in the console is THQ.
Oh, okay. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, well, I guess that would make sense, wouldn't it? That's so cool, man. Well, I really appreciate you bringing that out. So, just out of curiosity, and you don't necessarily have to show them off, but I know there's just so many interesting things on the site. Let us maybe just like a quick list of some of your other favorites that maybe at some point you can bring on the podcast, and people in the comment section kind of let us know which ones they're interested in.
All right. So I have two consoles. One of them is a Nintendo 3DS. The other one is an Xbox. And I know I'm a Nintendo collector, but Xbox is like a bit of passion in it.
Sure.
So the Nintendo 3DS, it's a new Nintendo 3DS XL. Puzzles and Dragons International Championship Edition.
Okay.
So yeah, that's. I read there are 8 made in Europe and 4 made in Japan. So people went to a tournament of Puzzles and Dragons. To attend to the tournament is to have a high score presented with a selfie on their official website, and the top that many something went to a tournament. Mm-hmm. The winners of those tournaments that were held in Europe, North America, Korea, and Japan went to the international championships in Japan, where 16 people or something played, and the top 4 get a new Nintendo 3DS themed with Puzzles and Dragons. Okay. And the first and second place winner actually got their 3DS signed by Shigeru Miyamoto.
Oh, okay.
And I happen to have a new 3DS signed by Shigeru Miyamoto.
Oh, that's so sick.
I bought it from the official winner. No idea why the guy sold it. But I do have contact with one of the European winners, which is a German guy who won one of the consoles and couldn't get it signed like custom when he was attending to the international championship. So it really is 2 made in the world that are signed.
Yeah.
I have a picture. I will send you later, or I don't know how, with the trophies and the two systems you can win, and one of them is actually the system I have.
Okay.
And it also comes with a custom box.
Uh huh.
Wow.
So, and also says on the back where the tournaments were held.
Oh, cool. Wow.
Yeah, it's
That's
really
sick.
sweet.
Yeah, that is really awesome. Funny because you mentioned like signed consoles because my buddy for those of you that have been watching for a while, he's shown up a couple times. Snese or Corey, he has done a couple episodes with us, and he has a collection of signed games that he'll be bringing on to the onto the show. So it's like he's got like a really like interesting collection, like a lot of the like Mega Man developers and like it's cool. So we'll be covering that eventually. But yeah, that's really awesome. That is like I love how like that has like such a story to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's also the purpose of the new website. Hoping that's our goal, that every console will have its own story in the back.
Yeah.
It's like a blog post, but not really.
Yeah.
It's like a full history. It's like a wiki, hyper Wikipedia.
Yeah. That's cool though. I mean, like honestly, like it's already such a great site, and then to see it kind of grow toward what your goals are is it's exciting. It's really exciting stuff. So aside from that, any other favorites that you wanted to give a mention to?
Yeah, there's one. Sorry, I just love.
I want to see
love
this.
consoles. All right, there's this one Xbox. It's made by Rare. It's the Rare Replay Edition. There are 6 made in the world. So
okay.
2 of them were given away at Comic-Con in the US. One of them at Gamescom in Europe. 2 via social media like Twitter and Facebook. There were Christmas prizes. And the last one stayed at the Rare office in their own personal museum. So I happened to buy the one that was won by a Facebook winner.
Okay.
And I met Rare as well at Gamescom at the time when they gave that console away. And so I emailed their people I knew, like, hey, I managed to get this Xbox. Is it possible to send it over and sign it, and maybe you can send it back? And actually, the funny thing is they remembered us, and they said, yeah, sure, how's the site going, blah, blah, blah. And
okay.
they actually invited me over to Rare.
Really?
Yeah.
They said, yeah, just come here for a day, and we'll tour you around, and we ask the whole office to sign it for you.
Wow.
It's like, oh, awesome.
That's awesome.
Wow.
So a week later, I booked a flight, everything, skipped work, whatever.
Priorities.
And I went to Rare, and I had an amazing day while they were developing Sea of Thieves, and got access to the alpha and also all the other unreleased games that they were working on, which I can't tell because I signed the contract.
Sure, yeah.
It's one of those shut up contracts stuff.
Yeah, non-disclosure agreement.
Non-disclosure agreement. Yeah, exactly. So I got my copy of Conquer Bad Fur Day signed by the developers, and
so cool.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
the music, like the great Mighty Pooh from Conquer. He just gave me presents and the goodie bag of Conquer and everything. So the console I want to show you because it's the Rare Replay console, and it's basically it's signed by the entire
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
at every side, and everyone came down, everyone signed it. It was super awesome that they did this, and I can't thank them enough for that. The front. Not sure if you see it mirrored, but it's the front, even the side. And I think 1 or 2 actually signed it on the bottom. Why, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it was the one that made the nuts and bolts one the most hated person of Rare, he told me.
I'll sign the bottom so you can erase it later.
Oh my
I was
goodness.
very sad when he said it. But yeah, that's one of my pridest possessions of my whole collection.
Wow. That's an incredible story.
That's such a cool story.
That's so cool.
The best part of it.
Oh my god, yeah, wow. And that's just like even without the signatures, that's such a cool Xbox, But then like with them, it just adds like this whole other layer to it. That's just beautiful. But back to the Xbox. My God, I look at your collection and then I look at mine, and I just want to walk out like a fifth story window. You know what I mean? Like it's like I'm like, my God, I got some cool stuff. I got some dev stuff. But
that wall is just so impressive. I love it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I think one day I'm just going to go ahead and tell my wife I'm going to go out and, I don't know if they have this expression where you are, where you live, but it's go out and buy a pack of cigarettes, which basically means you're not coming back. It's like daddy says, I'm going to go get a pack of cigs, but he never returns.
Never comes back.
Never comes back. So I think one day I'm just going to go out, get a pack of cigs, and not come back, and just then I'll not be restricted by anything, because I gotta, it's like I could buy consoles, but I don't think my wife would like it that much. So I'm just gonna leave and buy consoles until I die. It's amazing. It's just so beautiful. You
have to stay over.
But yeah, no, that's absolutely incredible. That's but all joking aside, that is so freaking cool. Yeah, I guess anything else that you wanted to showcase or that you have next to you, or I'll leave it up to you. I know it's late, so I don't want to keep you too long.
I have everything next to me, really.
You do.
I know you have a passion of 64DD.
Yes.
The disk drive, the Japanese disk drive of the N64 that has quite like 9 games, maybe. Yeah, they have 9 games.
Yeah, pretty much. I think it was like 9 games or 10 pieces of software. Like one of them was not really a game.
I wish, I can basically show you this. It requires some preparation.
Okay.
They started in 1999 and they ended in 2001. The support was actually pretty great. They really felt for the subscribers and everything because it was a monthly subscription.
Yeah.
So what they did is they announced their closement, and they told the people like, "I'm sorry, but we can't support it anymore. We're going to close. Pull out the plug in something in 2001." And people started online, because it was an online service, to say to them like, "Thank you for your support. The games were amazing. We miss you, and you were great," and stuff like that. So what Randnet did was they designed a farewell letter with all the comments that the subscribers that were longer than X months or X years a member of, and they sent it to everyone. So this is the farewell letter. And awesome. At first glance, it looks like a cool poster. It says Sayonara and with something with Nintendo 64. But if you look very closely, hopefully the camera can get it.
Yeah, we can see it.
They're all comments of the members. You see their username on this side with the last comments, what they wrote, all the way to the center, and it's all around it.
Yeah,
it's a really touchy poster, and it's also pretty cool that Randnet did this to their members.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Go on.
No, I'm basically finished. It's just pretty cool. It's the only one I found at auction. I had a bidding war with 4 other people, and it cost me more than I would have liked. But owning one of these.
Yeah,
that's so awesome.
Yeah, I remember. I didn't know that existed, and then I remember you sent me a scan of that, and the design of it is so beautiful. Like it's kind of like this. Like it's like a star, like with a bunch of other stars, and like all the messages and notes and stuff. Like it really was, because we think of the DD as like this failed system and this and that, but there were people that were paying for that service, and especially I feel like in Japan, like being honorable and showing good faith to your customers. I feel like. Was kind of important. So you get something like that. And it's like just kind of like a really touching and beautiful, note. Also, again, I'm obligated by law to read a super chat from Far Out Ideas. He strikes once again with a $2 super chat. He says, "Cool. Now show us Zelda."
Yes, in the back. I can't reach.
Can't do it. It's too. I have to climb up a ladder. Hurt my back recently. I don't want to risk it. You know, it's my
sure.
neck hurts a little. So thank you for the $2, but unfortunately, he just it's can't share Zelda right now. So, but.
No, I don't have the game. I do have all the other games except for the prototypes and unreleased ones. I also have all the accessories that were made for N64DD, but I'm still hunting for those prototypes. So if you have one, hit me up.
One day, we've looked at probably about 13 or 14 blue discs now, and like you'd be surprised how many of them are just blank or have like just software. Yeah, just like they might have software on them or like some sort of like hardware testing software. There was some stuff where there were like some crash reports from games that were recorded on them, but nothing playable, like, so it was some interesting stuff that we found, but because think about it, like if you had like a big old stack, you remember like back in the day, you buy like a big old stack of CDs, right? So my dad used to buy those things in bulk. He still has freaking stacks of CDs in his house, blank ones. And you got to imagine they made more of them than were used. So you have a lot of people out there that would just blank blue discs or like very little content on them. If some YouTuber contacted me recently and they were contacted by someone who had a bunch of blue discs, but we didn't even test them because we thought they basically were 5 that came in a development box, and there were supposed to be 5 that came in the development boxes, and they were like clean as clean can be, no scratches, like inserted into plastic, not sealed, but basically we figured they were brand new. So it was like the owner was like, nah, I don't even want to send them to get tested because like all signs point to them never being touched. Right, so it's like, why risk it? So that sucks, but it's kind of one of those things where it's like, one day hopefully we'll find a Zelda, but it's not going to be anytime soon, unfortunately. Well, that said, I know it's like 1 a.m. around your time, 2 a.m. around your time.
Yeah, it's fine. Work away tomorrow.
Oh my goodness. So we're gonna let you go, but before we do, I just wanted to let everyone know again that there's a link in the description to ConsoleVariations.com. Please take a look, and I think you will definitely find some very interesting information and very unique consoles on that website. So please support the site. They are a supporter of H4Games. They provide us with all sorts of valuable information. Definitely check it out. Anything you want to say before you head out, sir?
Actually, no, but thank you for watching this video, and thank you for having me on the broadcast. And
absolutely.
Get a great time.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining. I'll go ahead and let you go here, and then Allie and I will continue with our news topics, and I hope you rest well, and good luck with work tomorrow.
Yes, thank you. I will listen to the broadcast.
Awesome.
Still.
Well, we'll tell you what here. Actually, if I press close out, I'll be closing out on Allie as well. So why don't you close out, and then I'll just touch nothing because I'll screw it up.
Yeah.
So,
all right, we'll do.
All right, take it easy. Thank you for joining us.
All right.
Once
Thank
again.
you.